The most perfect and beautiful reward is in me. The reward that I have been waiting for and searching for is right here, right now. It's important to recognize that I am the most sparkling masterpiece, uncomparable to any piece or any art in the world, because there is only one of me. So this is a sketch that I have so far. I am really wanting to paint like right away. I don't know why. I just think having a sketch right away, I think it'd be a great idea just to paint with that projector giving me a sketch and just going ahead with the first layer. I think it might be a good experiment, but it is kind of a big piece to experiment on. But why not? This is how it looks like with the light, including the background that I have. I think it will give me a better idea if I do the first layer, or I don't know if I should sketch more lines. I don't know. I was sketching and I was like, I should just paint this like straight away. I don't know. I haven't decided. I might give it a try. But I just think the way it is right now, it looks beautiful. It's mesmerizing. It's very nostalgic. There's a whimsical, I mean, there's just a bunch of layers right now, so I really have to have that put together, but just, it's exciting, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's very exciting. I think the face, how it turned out, was overlays of different scraps that I put in. It's very interesting. Recently, I realized I was motivated a power. The power that was not quite positive. And I realized that power became my motivation, and the motivation became my desire to move forward. And that desire was the heart and the eager to be rewarded. The desire to be accepted or to be rewarded for my efforts came from people with no faces, basically from social media, but also with people that I know the faces of, like my parents, my supporters of art, and even myself. I knew, and finally I knew, that this power that was motivating me to actually move forward, ironically, was actually destroying me on the other hand. And I realized that these voices were endlessly saying that you need to be rewarded, that people need to know your effort more, you need to be paid more, or that person does not accept your talent, you need to be approved by that person, or you are this bit away from perfection, so don't give up. All these voices summed up to one voice that was the foundation of all the voices, and it was saying, you are not enough. And knowing this in the midst of my sleep in the early morning, or probably late morning, I realized it was a blunt lie, a black lie that was actually destroying me, and it was a complete disaster, which kind of made me blind, and I thought this was the right way to go. The power to motivate me to really move forward was something that actually called something that I can't really reach or can't really have in my hands. This motivation was actually making me more thirsty, more hungry for that reward that it seemed kind of vacant. Because if it was a true reward, it would have given me a peace, a comfort, and a true heart that I can actually say that I deserved it. But I never accepted those and just ran for the next goal, for the next purpose, for the next accomplishment. And I started to wonder, then what is the true reward as an artist that I am looking for that is actually moving me positively forward? This wintering collection was a struggle, but it was a solitary, lonely, and a cold journey to really find that miracle. This collection was very special to me because it was started without any commission or any deadline from school. I decided to create something just for myself with no time boundary. And as an artist, this fact changed the whole meaning of the work to me. It actually did not require any rewards of finishing the deadline or being paid for a commission. The result for this collection was just works being done, living as a creator and creating artworks. And all it remained was the artist, who is just me. The days were very special of creating this because the movie Encanto was my lovely company. As you might have known, the story of Mirabel was very directly connected to my color choices and also the narrative in my works. I added the mauve purples and the fantastical gold leaves to really reflect the sparkles of the stars and the scenes. Mirabel is the only one without the gift in the family. And she's sad, she's desperate, and she doesn't show, but she is kind of really doomed because she doesn't have any gifts of doing magic. But at the end, as you know, she herself becomes the key and the door that rebuilds the casa of the home of her family. And the destroyed family and the house becomes restored and actually becomes more flourished and stronger. She didn't have any special talent of painting or flying or creating flowers, but just herself. Just herself. The existence of herself was the key to the miracle, and she was the talent, which it means Encanto, and nothing more. This message is the core message in my collection as well. As an artist, I have to admit that what I create defines me. I am very closely attached to my process and my results, and it really reflects who I am. Meaning, I always struggle that good works will mean good artist and a good person. The value of the works I create become who I am. I mean, even apart from art, the words I speak, the words I write, the good deeds I try to show to the neighbors, it all defines me. However, Mirabel shows that it is not the fruits that I make that defines me. It's not the artworks, it's not the result that I make that defines me. Even if they are good rewards, such as payments for commissions, compliments, acceptance, likes, and the people who are following me and supporting me from the world, that even doesn't equal to the reward which defines me. And actually, the most beautiful masterpiece that always exists in me is me. The reward that I'm looking for, that is beyond beauty and accomplishment, is to recognize that I am the artist and I am the reward. So I wanted to show some of the sketches that I did recently, and I'm currently like kind of really looking for method to how to transfer like my drawings and my photography to the bigger panels. Before, I just printed out photographs and cut them and then pasted straight away to like wooden panels or bigger canvas. But I wanted to be more creative of my under layer or underpainting. I either wanted to use my own photographs or draw my own sketches. So I just did some sketches with graphite, and I thought I could kind of imagine this like in a bigger scale. And because I think I used an HB pencil, it's kind of very, very light, but I hope so you can see it. I had a figure, and then it was like a Korean hanbok brand, like a fashion week lookbook, but I kind of adjusted the garment onto my style, adding some vintage and Victorian elements. I also put a traditional hat that was usually worn by men, but I just wanted to add a little bit of twist of, you know, unisex fashion element there. And I also added some, you can't really see here, but it's flowers that I saw from Korean traditional paintings. And I also have a hat here, which is like a Korean bird. And I enjoyed really creating my own sketch, and I realized it takes longer than I think. So I might do the similar technique of actually pulling this image and then putting onto my MacBook, and then using the projector to shoot it on a bigger panel, and then I could just trace it as in a bigger size. And this is my next sketch that's a little shorter in torso, but because I wanted to look a little bit more portrait. This is actually my own photograph that I took for a senior fashion collection at SCAD. And the garment though, this is like a modern hanbok dress, and then this is like a blouse that is not traditional hanbok, but I think it was mixed matching like the Victorian shirt and then the traditional like modernized hanbok dress. And it's kind of difficult to see, but these are the flowers and the leaves. This is the nan, which is like the long botanical leaf that you see a lot in Korean traditional botanical paintings. And I also added this traditional decorative hair element when she actually didn't have that in the actual photo. And I planned like which part is going to have paper and paint, or in this, probably the garment part's going to have dried flowers, because I want the garment to be the most textured and to be the center point. And the next is my third sketch, and this was more like a winter hanbok garment, and I could totally see this in a huge panel. I think it'd be gorgeous. I love using these traditional hats, traditional winter hats that the women used to put on, and I just love anything that's really resembling like bonnet. I think it kind of pulls out our childhood girly element or characteristic. And I also saw Joseon period's botanical paintings called Hwajokdo by painter Nam Ge-woo, and I saw his flowers. I think this is called Nanhwa, and I just read across skimming that it meant like flourishness, abundantness. I think I'm going to try right now, I'm trying to like transfer my photograph to like directly with the projector to my wooden panel, but I also want to use my sketches as an actual sketch to a bigger painting to my wooden panels as well. So I'm gonna zoom So I have been working on these panels for a little while, and I keep putting it off because I have been working on my junk journals and also just kind of waiting until like it's late at night until I work them. But as you can see, they are almost getting there, and it's always unexpected how my works turn out, and it's always very surprising. And it's it feels very different while because I haven't worked any artworks during the break, and this is my first time actually really focusing but having so much time and no deadline to create some like really planned collection, um, which I am I am possibly planning to, I'm kind of shifting so you can kind of see the peak. I'm possibly wanting to finish this by this week and in a few days. This piece is actually almost done because I already went around the corners with white to create that last, you know, corner paints. And the big one is taking the most time because I also had some dried flowers attached here. You can't really see it from there, but this is actually my favorite piece, but that is almost done. I just have to sandpaper the wood glue that's on the top. I'm going to sandpaper it and then paint white just like this piece. And I am such a morning person, but working at night during the break with so much free time has been an enjoyable experience. Like, it's very late at night. There's like no sound. Everybody's asleep. And I'm like the only one and I'm creating. I'm tired, but I really kind of enjoy this time. And it's probably a time that's not going to come back when my school starts again. So I just wanted to tap in and kind of sneak peek my beautiful wintering series collection. So hopefully see you soon when it's finished. I always thought that if I create that beautiful masterpiece, that I could really see how I could go beyond my abilities, I will become so accomplished. That large work, that amazing work that took months and months to create, I was waiting for that to be my reward, that I could define myself as a successful and a talented artist. But actually, the most beautiful masterpiece that I could already create, that I have already created, is me. The miracle is me. The reward that I'm waiting for, that is beyond everything that I've been waiting, is the creator who actually created all these beautiful works. Only beautiful things could be fruit and flowers from the root of the tree that is already beautiful. So I really reflect about what kind of being I am, that I'm creating these beautiful and wondrous works from my hands. I need to realize that the reward is already in my hands, and my heart, and my eyes, and the whole being of myself as an artist. It's uncomparable because I remain as a creator no matter what I create, no matter what my creation might fail sometimes, and the artworks will remain as the marvelous fruits. It is a reward, the fact that I am the art itself, that cannot be replaced with any other rewards, and I will be content forevermore. Ta-da! I have finished my 3 pieces of a collection called Wintering, or in German, Winter Collection. I am very glad that I have come to an end, and I had a hard time pulling all these in one composition or one frame because they're so big. But I will be uploading a full vlog, a creator process vlog, just for these 3 collections again after this vlog, because I'm going to talk a lot. But I just wanted to go through, quickly, just hints and little pieces to review my 3 pieces quickly and kind of go through how I created and how these became like this and how it looks overall. This piece was actually finished first because it was the smallest size, but also there was no face to really focus upon, so it was easy to kind of look at the florals and the sketch photograph of my photograph. It was easy to kind of go through the petals, and there were 3 chunks of flowers like this, and I just followed through. And because I was going to use dried flowers anyways, and it was flowers, it was so easy to kind of attach the flowers petals as the flower shape it is, which it wasn't hard. And even though I had a light blue in my original sketch plan palette, the rest too kind of lost that sky blue color, but this remained that sky blue or sky light turquoise color, and I liked how it remained like that, and I really like how it contrasted well with that dark scarlet, which was one of my palette as well. And this was the second piece that it was finished, and it was this was the most surprising one, because I usually have everything in center composition, but this sketch had the figure on the right side, so I was like, I don't know if I will like that composition, because if I don't like the sketch on the first hand, I usually can't pull it off, or I usually lose focus of really persevering and kind of being patient until the end. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. And even there was a lot of botanicals here, and I was like, how am I going to paint all that? Like, it's going to take forever. But after a few layers, I realized it was almost done already. And I think this is the piece that also I love the most, how the gold turned out. I think it blended with the figure and the garden really well. It almost looks like it's surrounding the figure with light, and it's kind of subtle. And I also love how the floral part right here turned out, because I usually don't like to do more than a layer of paint. I just need something else, like another medium to replace that. But I really preserved and became patient about, okay, let's go to the next layer of paint, and we'll see. And I realized it creates beautiful things. And I think this would be a really nice piece to kind of work on more as a collection, maybe another series with different color palette. And I don't know, I just think the arch is it makes everything kind of cohesive, where there's a lot going on, but that arch kind of cuts everything and makes it in one frame, which gives kind of unification. And I just think it's so like pretty, like it's matching my skirt too. And my last piece is the biggest piece. And definitely it took long, and I was like, oh, when is this gonna get done? And let's see. So it was a very big decision to make the figure's face go hazy. or I decided to cover the final layer with paint over and over again to create that foggy, snowy, cold look. And I have always had figure or the face like in the center and like the main element of my works, but I decided to really smudge that facial element because I wanted everything else to be kind of focused too. Especially, I'm gonna pull this down right here. Especially the garment, which I really wanted to enhance and explore pressed flowers here or dried flowers here, which I wanted to enhance hanbok, and also the oval that the halo that she's surrounding, it had a lot of paint layers, which I wanted to show too. And the frame too. I think the framed part, especially on the top, I love how it turned out. It's very whimsical. It seems like it's framed in another world. So I originally wanted to make the face just cover the whole eyes, but maybe next time. So I was kind of proud of myself to really decide to try a different element to show out instead of the face, because just trying different things and challenging myself. And also enjoyed playing with dried flowers. So this was actually dried flowers that was already existing in the previous work. So I just ripped off the previous work, and it kind of matched whatever it had to the new dried flowers I put on here, which I thought it was beautiful. And I'm still kind of researching and trying to find a way to enhance the garment with pressed flowers. Thank you so much for going on the long journey with me to create these collections. I hope your winter will be whimsical and warm and artistic like my works. And again, the vlog for the creative process and the explanation of these works, full explanation vlog, will be uploaded very soon after this vlog. So please watch out that and let me know what your favorite work is. And see you in my next art vlog. Bye! Thank you, amazing artist and an existence and the reward they're looking for. And see you in my next vlog. Bye!